Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I'm from Mamma Mia, that's Italian. And today we're going to make carbonara sauce, which is coal burner is the meaning of carbonara, which these are the recipes. Right now I'll introduce you to the recipes. And I have a half a pound of thick sliced bacon, and a quarter pound of prosciutto is what I'm preferring to put in today. And we have 3 eggs is what my recipe calls for, but if you have very small eggs, you might need an extra one. And I have Pinot Grigio is what I'm using, the wine, white wine. You need about a half a cup, and a cup of grated cheese, or any kind of grated cheese that you like. I'm using pecorino today. And of course, the spaghetti. You can use noodles, spaghetti, you can use any shape of pasta you like, but the original calls for spaghetti or noodles. And those are the ingredients, and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm ready to, as you see, I took out the bacon, the thick sliced bacon, and now I'm going to cut it into, dice it. It's not that easy to do, but you have to dice it to cook it. And of course, it has to be very nice and crispy. And you can use all the fat. The fat will all burn off. And this is a must for the recipe. You've got to have either bacon or pancetta, which is the Italian bacon, is very good. I think you can find it here also. That's what they use in Italy. And it's supposed to be a hearty dish. That's what it was made for the coal workers. It's a hearty dish for men. So you can add more meats if you like. I chose to do these, but you could put ham also. Just dice it up like this. And then we have to cook it, make it really crispy and golden. And then I also like to put the prosciutto in for just a few minutes, just to coat it with the bacon fat. It gives it a nice flavor. And then we need 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. You want to put on the side to use to mix it with the pasta. That's also very flavorful. So we don't use all the fat from the bacon. And who doesn't love bacon? I love it. So I'll turn on my gas to warm up the pot. And this recipe is for a pound of pasta. It takes a while, but you could do this ahead of time. So here we go. Just put the bacon in. Okay. Now this will take a while for it to crisp up. So while that's getting cooked, I'll also start to dice up the, forget what it's called, prosciutto. I'll dice up the prosciutto. When the bacon's done, I'll put this in there just for a few seconds, like I said, maybe not even a minute. I don't know. Depends on, you know, how thick it is and how quickly you want it to cook. And then we just put them on the side. So while that's cooking, we'll take a little break. So this is all diced. Try to separate all the pieces so that you have plenty of it. Okay, so once this is cooked, I'll drain it, put it in a pan, in another pan or another bowl, and I'll throw this in the fat, and then I'll take that out and save 2 tablespoons of the fat from the bacon. So here we are at this point where the bacon is nice and crisp. So I'm going to put it in the bowl. I still have the heat on. Just drain it the best you can. It's okay if you have a little fat. I mean, that's only flavor for you. And it's okay if you leave some in the pan. It only tastes good when it's cooked more. So now I'll put the prosciutto in and just give it a quick toss, and it will flavor from the bacon also besides the prosciutto. I usually like to just quickly let it get a little cooked. Or if you have ham, whatever you want to put in, you know, you can put in other things, like you could put in mortadella. I mean, even bologna. If you like bologna, why not? Well, you see it changed the color, and that's it. So now I'll drain the prosciutto and just save it with the bacon. And I'll shut my gas off at this point. See how it changed color? So it's just hardly cooked. Because prosciutto is preserved and it's not really cooked in any way. so this cooks it a little. And one more thing I have to do is preserve two tablespoons of the oil, which I will do right now. I have this little bowl, and I can approximate how much I need. There you go. The rest will go into a jar, not my kitchen sink. I'll wipe it up, and the next step we'll do in a minute or so. Okay, so we're here, and we're going to crack the eggs and put them in the next ingredients, and we'll scramble them up. My grandsons love the way I crack my eggs. And one more. And I will just beat them. You could see. Now this recipe calls for black pepper. It actually does need it. It gives it a nice flavor too, and I don't know if you don't like it, I don't know how you would replace it. So I'm putting in a teaspoon, but I actually put a little more than a teaspoon. And now we have a cup of cheese, pecorino. You don't waste any. Now, if you're worried about raw eggs, let me tell you about the raw eggs. I understand with salmonella, but the heat of the pasta cooks the eggs. You toss it well. I have never gotten sick from it. None of the people I've served it to have ever gotten sick from it. So I'm assuring you that it's fine. Some people just use the yolks. You can, but you need to have at least one egg white with it. You can do that. You make it your own. You know, once you like the recipe, and you put the things that you like in it. Like I said, you could use ham, you could use bologna, you could use any kind of meat that you want. So now I'm using a half a cup of wine. I'm not a wine connoisseur, but this is wine that I would serve with the meal. Since it's open anyway, you might as well drink it with the meal. So here's a half a cup. You could always add more or less according to your taste. And that's all the liquid ingredients. So now I have the pasta water on. So it's starting to bubble. So I'll put in some salt. I won't put a lot of salt. I usually put a lot in the pasta because it needs it. But because of the ingredients have salt in them, I'll just put just a little. Okay, then we're just going to wait for the pasta water to boil, and we'll do the next step. Okay, here we are. We're ready to put the pasta in the boiling water. This is how I do it. And then you mix it. Make sure it gets into the water. And don't forget, no oil in here. Doesn't need, if you put oil on it, none of the flavors from the carbonara will stick to it. That's the reason you don't put oil on it. It just falls right off. This way it comes right out of the water, right into my bowl, which is perfect for a pound of pasta. I've had it for many years. And it will cook the eggs because it comes right out of the water. And that's the way Italians do it too. They don't always drain the pasta. They just pick it right up and put it right into the pot with the sauce on it. Okay, so this will cook for a while. At least, remember, it has to be al dente, which means to the teeth. So you want it to not be mushy. That's not good Italian pasta. In the meantime, we're going to mix together our meat and all the drippings. You get a different mix. Okay, now I'll put in the egg mixture and the wine and the cheese. Mix it all together. Get all that black pepper. And I have a tablespoon of the drippings, bacon drippings. And we'll just mix this all together. Doesn't it look good? Now, if you go to a restaurant and they have milk or cream in the carbonara sauce, that's not the original recipe. Definitely never have milk or cream in this carbonara. That is not the original recipe. You can leave out the wine and use the pasta water instead. And you can hardly see the eggs. I mean, they're in there, but the bacon is still a little warm. It's cooking them. And then the hot pasta, we place it right in. We'll cook them completely. So I'm just going to give this another stir. Keep them from sticking. And we'll let it go. Like I said, I'm going to time it for 10 minutes. And that's it. We'll just wait. Okay, so here we are. The pasta's cooked. It's still boiling, as you can see. The sauce is ready. So I'm going to lift it and put it right into the sauce. Even if you have some of the water dripping, that's okay. It'll be fine, because we can use the hot water to cook the eggs with. Okay, this is getting heavy. I have to move. Oh my God. Okay, now we'll toss it and cook the eggs some more. This is oh, it smells so good. You can see how the eggs are already setting up. Make sure I got all the pasta. This is how the Italians do it. Instead of draining it, a lot of restaurants do it this way. You have to mix it well. I could smell the wine, I could smell the pepper, I could smell the bacon while mixing. Give it a good stir and let it do its thing for a minute or so before you serve it. But it should be served hot, of course. How's that look? That good? Yummy? I don't see any raw egg anywhere. So it's ready to serve. Now in Italy they serve this as a primo dish, a first dish, which is a first course. So they only give you like very little to start with. I mean, but the flavor is so good, you want more. But then you know that there's other dishes coming. You get some kind of meats or fish after the pasta. But in my house, we used it as a meal. So we ate the pasta with all this meat in it, and then a nice big salad with Italian bread. And that's it. So I'm going to serve myself. So I could taste it for you. I'll put a little bit more meat on it. A little more cheese. And I did save some of the meats just to show, but it's not necessary. And here we go. Now I'll taste it. I hope you can see it well. Here we go. Mmm. Delicious. I hope you make it. I wish you could have some now. Yummy.